Men and Eternity, which is given by USGBC. Later on, the Indian Green Building Council has started giving these ratings. Yeah. Moving on to our new vertical, we are excited to talk to you about Harmonia. But before that, a few words on senior living. As you would have all known, this has become a need of the hour, and some of our seniors will talk to you about all this a little later. But you can see that it's in the very nascent stage now, and it's got a huge market, and there's a huge gap to fill. As you can make out, the projected senior population, which is by 2050, is 32 crores, which is the US population. So it is a mind-blowing figure. And there are more than 12 players right now. It will be increasing by the day. And various requirements are there for the seniors, which have been met by, which have to be met by various developers, etc. Now, the last sentence, which you can read, is where we stepped in. We thought we'd make it slightly different, and this was done after a lot of research when we met seniors and talked to them and found out what they wanted. And then we came to this thing of blue zone living, which I'll explain in detail now. This is a very interesting concept. Blue zone is something which is there in 7 parts of the world. What happened was they found out that in these 7 parts of the world, which includes Japan, US, etc., what they found out was these 7 parts, people were living for a very long time. Longevity was there, but not just longevity. You can live for a long time but be unhealthy. But here they found that people were happy, healthy, and lived for a very long time. So they were interested and did a research on why this particular thing happens in these regions. So they wanted to find out what is common amongst these 7 places. So when they found out, they looked at certain parameters, and this is what they had to say. All these regions had people had a stress-free life. They lived in pollution-free atmosphere. They also ate a healthy food. And the most important part was all these people lived as a community together. It was not just seniors alone. They lived with all generations together. So this was a finding by research scholars on these 7 areas. So that's where we stepped in. We thought this was very interesting, and we thought we should extend this blue zone, but by calling it Blue Circle. Actually, what was done was, all these regions, if you can see, were...
And my marketing agency's team has put an enormous efforts to have Blue Circle for senior citizens. It is all about all generation living in harmony in a community. So called as Harmonia Senior Living Residences. I would like to take this opportunity to invite Mr. V.K. Ashok to explain about senior citizens, Harmonia Senior Living Residence, as well as Blue Circle for senior citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vedi Kumar. We will now have a presentation on Lankar Harmonia by Mr. V.K. Ashok, our Chief Operating Officer. Thank you.
Good afternoon all. Welcome to the press, managing team, and all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Special thanks to some of our Harmonia customers in Sri Permatur who have who have come all the way from there to grace this occasion. I'm going to briefly tell you about, most of you know about Lancor, but I'll briefly tell you about Lancor and then move on quickly to this new vertical which we've started, which is called Harmonia, and I'll explain the concept of Blue Circle. So it used to be a haven for children to play on the surface and beautifully landscaped, as you can see, and most of them overlooking the landscaping and swimming pool. Moving on to our very impressive high-rise building, which has very high specification. This is in Valsaravakkam, it's called Cirrus, and this is one of our other landmark buildings. Anyone who knows Lancor knows about our Central Park buildings in Sholinganallur. We were perhaps the earliest players in OMR. Our management team will bear me out. When we visited this place, there was nothing in OMR. Even OMR, as Old Mahabalipuram Road, was not there. So we used to actually pack lunch in our listing and go and visit these sites. Of course, now it's completely transformed, and we have made more than 1,000 apartments in Sholinganallur itself. So anybody who knows Sholinganallur knows Lancor certainly. And then